Today I would like to share on my industrial training report that I went through for a 6-month period. My internship at Pantai Hospital Klang in medical record began at the end of February on 28th and ends today on 12th August. Before we could jump into the presentation, I would take this opportunity to express that it was a very memorable journey going through each day of that 6 months serving as medical clerk. And I'm more than glad to be able to pour most of my experience gained in the period, including research of the hospital in detail, studying their company profile, works and tasks that I've been performing through each day, thorough observation of the department and hospitals in conducting the Swot analysis, and growth that I acquired as a person. This internship program thus envisions and eagers me to learn more in the healthcare industries, regardless of any department, organizations, or position. Right off the bat, we'll start off with Pantai Hospital Klang profile. It has been operating for more than 40 years. From the name of Klang Specialist Medical Center with few beds and less than 10 specialists, it grew into an astonishing one of the giant healthcare provider in Klang City, with a total of 80 beds, more than 30 well-known specialists in the building, 13 best medical specialties, as well as enlarging number of workers. This also includes various facilities for patients and visitors to use. Also note that Pantai Klang Hospital is now owned by IHH Healthcare Berhad, which is a private healthcare group that currently owns 80 hospitals, both domestic and international. They have the vision to be the most trusted and friendly healthcare provider in the nation, while holding on their mission to take exemplary care of their patients and care around them that strive to dynamically raise the bar of clinical, operational and service excellence. The hospital is located strategically in Klang City at Persiaran Raja Muda Musa, that is only less than 15 minutes away from the city centre, and that sums up the company profile. This presentation is continued by jumping in the training reflection sections, in which the tasks and works that I have been performing through the 6 months time. First and foremost, my working shift is on normal office hour on regular week, which is 9 to 5, and half day on Saturday from 9 to 1 p.m. Though there is no allocation for allowance nor overtime, the organization gave me a salary of 500 ringgit for a full month without any leave. Regardless of those, I am more than glad to value the experiences and knowledge that I can acquire in serving them. The list of work starts with coloring the medical record folders into specific medical record number, or MRN. These colors and numbers helps much in storing and retrieving the folders according to the cabin, and this usually done for each new folder creation due to new patient visit. Next work is filing the folders into their specific racks and cabins. Example of MRN is 000350604. An example of folders arrangement in cabins is MRN from 000158200 to 000269900 is stored in second cabin, and the numbers so forth. Continue with transferring folder to clinics either via appointment bundle or walk-in request that requires me to travel from the cabin department into the hospital either by walking or using prepared motorcycle. Other than that is the disposal of 7 years back outdated folders. The team and I managed to dispose almost 47,000 of folders that took us an entire month of April working in the store. These were done by keying in each folder's name and MRN and later stacked for disposal time. As for the folder review, is conducted to measure the performance of doctors in completing each forms and documents in the folders for the upper management use. Next in the list, performing discharge summary process, which is to rearrange and ensuring that each document in the discharge process is complete with signatures and reports for future visit or reference. This includes all inpatient notes, observation notes, diagnostic details, and patient progress reports. I've also managed to perform ICD coding into the system in the discharge summary process, in which I am able to use knowledge of medical coding that I learned in my 4th and 5th semester into the industry. And finally, the weekly packing of Mitsui Soko, an outsourcing initiative that the department used to store all of the least potential folder visit to create more space for new folders. In average, the department packed 11 to 20 boxes of folders weekly, and each box contains more than 50 folders to be sent to them. And this sums up of my reflection training. Further into the SWOT analysis section, I have come up with 3 items for each component of internal, which is strengths and weakness, and external, there is opportunities and threats. This is done via verbal discussion with the medical record department staff itself, including my observation through the 6-month duration, and the item is as list. Moving into the discussion and recommendation for the SWOT analysis for the medical record department of Pantai Hospital Klang now. To start off, we'll discuss first on the strength, and that is a strong team. It is agreeable to mention that the foundation of a group's success comes from a strong and motivated team members within its team. For that, I would recommend them to always maintain those strong and compact team spirit. Next, we have the timely and quick access to folders. This is due to their systematic ways of managing their folders arrangement that makes it super easy to file or to retrieve from their respective racks, even with 6 cabins of storage. They even succeed to achieve their mission of completing any folder request within 15 minutes, and they should really maintain this good practice. Last strength is endless growth of folder storage due to their weekly outsourcing to an outside organization by sending out their least possible visit and all folders to store and dispose them. Moving with the weakness that I found was slow and outdated computers. To be happen, the software and hardware proven to be less efficient compared to what technologies has to offer now. I highly recommend upgrading their computers to a minimum or relevant version in increasing the department productivity. Another weakness found was insufficient workstation and internet connection. There are only 4 computers prepared in the first cabin to conduct every one of each operation in the department, while the workstation in the first cabin is super small, very uncomfortable and procrastinating. In order to prevent any negative health condition towards the employee, the department should reconstruct the office area or plan to be conducive and prepare a Wi-Fi that can cover all cabins to make communication easier for employee in any cabins to communicate. Last weakness is regarded to insufficient education and training of health professionals. There are some tasks or work as ICD coding or key-in that require trade or health background personnel. Instead of outsourcing, I would recommend them to train the existing employee to be as enough as qualified to perform those tasks. Continue with the opportunities available. Firstly is to change the traditional physical medical record folders to electronic medical record folders or EMR. Higher management should impose this EMR initiative to bring their efficiency to another level of improvement. Other opportunities is having the ability to upgrade the officer's computer to be faster and more efficient that ensures higher reliability and productivity of the department. And last opportunity is regarded to the transferring and collecting for the process, in which they should build a covered trail or walkway from the department to the hospitals. The cabin and the hospital are distant with approximate of more than 100 meters apart, and the process usually would need to be stopped in heavy rains. Added more, this could as well benefit patients or visitors that park their car at the back of the hospital. Last component of this analysis is threat, and the first item is the list. In the list is natural disaster and animal attacks. Reason of this is because the current building material is steel cabin, and they are vulnerable to any natural disaster, especially heavy rain and flood. Whilst for the animal attack is due to their location that sits right beside a small river, connection of small river of Klang, and appearance of big monitor lizard or biawak has been seen around the cabin area. And for that, it is highly recommendable for the higher management to change the cabin form into a strong brick building that can reduce severity towards the folders itself and the employees. Greater competition in other health record management also increases in line with each newly introduced technology. In order to maintain competing relevantly, higher management should at least follow any trends or improvement, especially in the technological nature. And final item is theft or thieves breaking in and steal the information in the medical record folders. This is possible due to the distinct location of the department, especially at night time where only a person is on duty. Added more, the security cameras didn't even cover the whole cabin area. Therefore, they should set more security cameras even inside the cabin and rebuilding the fences at the back of the hospital to be more secure from any trespassing. In conclusion of this presentation, I am more than glad to be able to grab and understand the gist of my industry training at Pantai Hospital Klang, from learning on the background of the organizations, reflecting and gaining experiences from the tasks that I have been performing for the last 6 months, and conducting internal and external analysis of the medical record department itself. All of this has really shaped me to become a different person that I was 6 months ago. And I really do envision myself being in the same industry more, the healthcare industries, to learn more knowledge, to gain more experiences I could, regardless of the organization, department, positions. And finally, thank you for lending me your ears.